the Mortgage Minute today, being brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products. You just need to make the call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. S&P 500 is now down 6.79. The 10-year Treasury is up 2 basis points. Mortgage-backed securities are down 12 basis points. And every day at this time, OBMMI, they provide the most comprehensive, accurate, timely, and interactive analysis of pricing ever conducted in the mortgage industry, calculated from actual locked rates with consumers across 35% of all mortgage transactions. Nationwide, the 30-year conforming loan locked at 6.583, 30-year jumbo 6.5, FHA 6.512, USDA 6.487, and the best loan on the market for those that earned it, 6.35, is a 30-year VA loan. And again, we have no idea how many points people are paying to get these. This is just the rate that they locked at. No way that OBMI could provide us with the APRs on every one of these. So just great information right there. The question becomes, why is all of this happening? Well, there's a lot going on in the market today. And let me give you a little bit of a rundown on it. So we got again, I told you at 10:30 our time, so I should say West Coast time, Fed Chair Jerome Powell will be speaking, which could shape up the markets. It generally does. And we're going to be watching that. ADP employment report came out today. They found that there was 127,000 jobs created in the month of November, which was weaker than the 200,000 expected, and almost half the creation seen in October. This is the lowest pace of job creation since January 2021. Declines were seen in some of the more interest rate sensitive sectors like construction and manufacturing, while leisure and hospitality and healthcare were bright spots. ADP also reported that annual pay for job stayers increased 7.6%. So if you stayed on your job, ADP, which does the payroll processing, says the increase in wages was up 7.6%. But if you change jobs, up 15.1%. Both of these figures fell 1/10 from the previous report, but remain very, very strong. Nella Richardson, chief economist for ADP, said, quote, turning points can be hard to capture in the labor market, but our data suggests that Federal Reserve tightening is having an impact on job creation and on pay gains. Whoops.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce?
Sorry about that, Josh. I hit the wrong button. I was looking for Gomer.
Surprise.
Yeah, so fewer people are quitting and the post-pandemic recovery is stabilizing. It's likely we'll see a weaker BLS jobs report on Friday, and we would not be surprised to see the unemployment rate tick up from 3.7 to 3.8%. Pending home sales, which means signed contracts on existing homes, fell 4.6% in October. Remember October, that's when interest rates were about 7 1/8. That was when they were at the highest point, so that's a little outdated data. There was a positive revision to the September reading, and when factoring this in and looking at the change from the originally reported figures, sales are really only down about 3%. Sales are now down 37% year over year. This factors in peak in interest rates, and we believe these figures could get better from here as we have seen rates come down over 0.5% since that time. Lawrence Yun, the NAR chief economist, said that he believes we should start to see buyers return and activity increase, echoing what we've been saying, and we've already started to see activity return in the purchase applications, and they have increased in the last 4 weeks in a row. And the other item that came out, Q3 GDP. Preliminary or second reading of Q3 GDP showed the U.S. economy grew by 2.9% annualized, better than the 2.7% expected, and follows 2 consecutive readings that were negative in Q1 and Q2. Important to remember that this is the second of 3 readings. There can be significant revisions. There is an inflation component within GDP, but it's old data looking quarter over quarter. This was elevated as the inflation readings were high over the quarter. Remember, we saw inflation in the CPI report make a nice move lower in the month of October, and we think that tomorrow's PCE will show a better than expected decline. Another reason for this, that the CPI moved lower. but has a big weighting towards shelter, which is lagging. But PCE has a much lower weighting towards shelter, so there's less potential of upside pressure. So 2 reports coming out later this week, tomorrow and on Friday, that both give us good cause to believe that we will have some improvement in the home loan rates in the next few days. That's why we're watching these things very, very closely. That's the Mortgage Minute, brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products. You just need to make the call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990.